A very good morning from India. Our research project is entitled AutoDrive Simulator, which is basically a simulation ecosystem for scaled autonomous vehicles to further research and education in this field. This is a developmental work, and we are going to present some of its key features and prominent components in this presentation. So, why did we take up this project, and why are we talking about scaled platforms? So, first of all, uh, not all of us can afford real self-driving cars or full-scale versions due to monetary as well as special constraints, especially for students and self-funded labs. Another key aspect for scaled platforms is that they accelerate research and education by providing a safe means to develop and deploy algorithms reiteratively on the indoor versions of the scaled models. The next question would be, why are we talking about simulation? Virtual prototyping is a very key aspect in any research journey, uh, especially in case of autonomous systems. As we had a guest lecture about this in case of faults occurring in such autonomous systems. So basically, you cannot directly develop an algorithm and have it tested on a real scaled self-driving car. And it is also not advisable to have it tested on a scaled version directly in a hardware, because you can end up crashing the hardware, and it can lead to losses both in terms of money as well as other damage. So it is advised that you first virtually prototype your algorithms using simulation, and once you have achieved the results that you are expecting, you can then transfer those algorithms onto the real world. Another key advantage of simulation is that you can develop critical situation and simulate corner cases, which may not be particularly viable in a hardware scenario, such as non-ethical driving, which the agent should not learn. The final question is, why are we talking about scaled simulation ecosystem? So this has the roots lying in the sim to real transfer that I just discussed. The thing is that the researchers today are mostly using full-scale simulators for simulating their algorithms, and then they are transferring those algorithms onto scaled cars that they have in their labs, probably. So we can clearly see the difference between the perception data from the full-scale simulation as well as vehicular dynamics and the control commands that have to be transferred for the simulated system and for the scaled version of the car in the hardware. So that is a huge gap, and there are many more problems that may not be apparent enough in the earlier stages but may cause delays in the later part of the projects. uh, the particular motivation of this project was that the current research community lacks such simulators and tools for aiding the design and development of algorithms specifically targeted towards scaled vehicles and infrastructure, and that is what AutoDrive Simulator is for. Coming to the system overview, I will be talking about AutoDrive Simulator and its key components. Firstly, we have a scaled vehicle setup with realistic sensor and actuator models. The vehicle dynamics have also been scaled down to appropriate size of the vehicle and have been simulated accordingly. The vehicle also has a fully functional lighting and indication system for illumination and signaling. The simulator offers a modular environmental setup wherein the physics of the environment have also been taken good care of, and the simulator offers scene lighting and scene cameras as extra features. The simulator features a user interface that has both graphical user interface as well as a hardware user interface to interact with the simulator. And there is a secondary part of the project, that is the development framework, which would comprise of autonomous driving software stack to control the vehicle in autonomous mode, and this part is left to the users to develop their autonomy algorithms. There is a communication bridge linking the two, wherein the sensor data can be transferred to the development framework, and the control commands that are being generated can be transferred back to the simulator in real time. uh, Now we come to discuss the vehicle in detail. So the vehicle is a modular design, as you can see here, and it is designed so as to enable hardware manufacturing in the near future. That was the aim when we were taking up this project. So it comprises of a comprehensive sensor suite comprising of throttle and steering sensors, wheel encoders on the rear wheels, indoor positioning system for localization, a 9-axis inertial measurement unit, 2D LiDAR on the top, and front and rear view cameras. The vehicle dynamics have been modeled, as I said, to the scale of the vehicle with rigid body components to simulate mass, gravity, air drag, and other forces and torques acting on the vehicle. The body colliders, as you can see in this image here, in the green highlight, are modeled to simulate body collisions and momentum transfer. And finally, we have the wheel colliders to simulate the tire forces and frictions and interactions between the tires and floor. The vehicle is a Ackermann steered model with rear wheel drive mechanism, and it comprises of two drive actuators on the rear wheels independent of each other, and a steering actuator to steer the front wheels. The actuation limits and the response delays have also been modeled realistically. Finally, as I said, the vehicle has a fully functional lighting system comprising of bifunctional headlights, tail lights, turning indicators, and reverse indicators. Here is an image showing the demonstration of lighting working. On the top, you can see headlights, and the bottom, you can see the reverse indicators. Coming to the environment, we offer several modules as a part of this modular development kit. It consists of road modules consisting of dead end as well as straight road and curved road. Intersection modules consist of 3-way and 4-way intersections. Parking modules include the roadside parking and a dedicated parking lot. Other modules include a terrain module, which is a lawn, like resemblance, and a construction box. We also offer a pre-configured map, which we call Tiny Town, and this particular map incorporates all the different environment modules that I just discussed. The environmental physics has also been realistically modeled, as you can see from this image. We have different rigid body components as well as body colliders and physics materials attached to the different elements in the environment. Here you can see a particular example where the vehicle has collided into the construction box, and as per the momentum transfer, the boxes have displaced from their original position. Coming to the next feature, we talk about the scene lighting, wherein we have baked real-time lighting resembling daylight or night driving conditions for testing different autonomy algorithms. We offer 3 different scene cameras: driver's eye, which is a static vehicle following camera; bird's eye, which is a adaptive top view of the vehicle, and focal length can be controlled by the user; God's eye, as we call it, which is a dynamic vehicle tracking camera mounted in a specific location in the simulation system, and that tracks the vehicle accordingly. The communication bridge is actually a WebSocket interface which allows full duplex communication over single TCP connection. And one of the key features of this particular interface is that it allows an event-driven response mechanism which aids the users to flexibly develop their algorithms. Another prominent advantage of this particular communication bridge is that it uses a very low data overhead per message, so that transfer of the messages are highly efficient. The bridge supports local as well as distributed computing in a server-client communication mode, and it can be configured using the bridge parameters, which are the IP address and port number of the machine running the development framework. Coming to the user interface, here you can see a view of the graphical user interface, which consists of a menu panel on the left-hand side and a heads-up display on the right-hand side. On the menu panel, you can see the first 3 elements are the communication bridge parameters. Next, we have an entire simulation reset button. The following button is the manual override button for human interference. Then we have a button to toggle the scene view or scene camera. And finally, to toggle the scene light, here is another functionality. In the heads-up display, the users can view the real-time simulation parameters as well as sensor data being processed. Coming to the hardware user interface, we offer keyboard and mouse as input methods, and it can be used to control the vehicle actuators as well as the lighting and signaling system. Users can also interact with the graphical user interface. Finally, coming to the developmental framework of this project, we offer a ROS package, which takes advantage of the publisher-subscribe architecture of this ROS ecosystem. Another key advantage or benefit of integration with ROS is that the simulator can now be interfaced with several tools or libraries that are part of the entire ROS ecosystem and open source. We also offer direct scripting APIs for Python and C++, which enable direct development and deployment of autonomy algorithms for the users' convenience. So that was about the AutoDrive simulator, but AutoDrive is actually intended to be an integrated platform for autonomous driving research and education. And since the acceptance of this paper, we have worked a lot to actually make it reach that stage. So up till now, we have actually developed the entire AutoDrive platform, which comprises of the AutoDrive testbed, as you can see here, which is the hardware version of the entire setup, comprising of a scaled vehicle and an scaled environment. The updated AutoDrive simulator, as you can see on the right, with a lot many features, and the updated vehicle model is now considered as the digital twin of the AutoDrive testbed. And the AutoDrive dev kit has also been updated from merely supporting autonomous driving software stack to actually now support also the development of smart city solution using the smart city software stack. We have also developed a few applications and use cases, such as the autonomous parking example, as you can see here, using probabilistic robotics approach, behavioral cloning to drive on a road using end-to-end imitation learning, autonomous intersection traversal using deep reinforcement learning. This is actually a multi-agent paradigm wherein four vehicles are simultaneously trying to cross the intersection safely. And finally, the smart city management using IoT as well as vehicle to infrastructure communication, as you can see. Apart from this, we are planning on releasing online learning content such as a MOOC in the upcoming days. And we also wish to actually develop an undergraduate or postgraduate course in collaboration with some of the universities, along with the lab component, so that students can get acquainted with this platform and this field in their early ages, and they can contribute even more in this field of research. So thank you very much for patiently listening to us. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Samak. So, and last I will select the best presentation to evaluate in 5 aspects according to the content, clarification skills, and the practical value, and also the pronunciation and the fluency and the quality of the PPT. We selected the best one of the presentation is the paper R001 given by the Samak. Let's congratulations to Samak.
Thank you very much.